Well, welcome back to the Beard of English. And I'm in Nara in Japan again. And today I'm in what I think is one of the most beautiful Buddhist temples in the city, Saidaiji. Now, according to the Nihon Shoki, which is an ancient chronicle of Japanese history, Buddhism came to Japan from Korea in the year 552. Now, it took a little while to get established, but once it did, it spread across the entire country pretty quickly. And Saidaiji is actually one of the oldest temples in Japan. Work commenced here in the year 762. And even today, I think most Japanese people would claim to be Buddhist. And there's probably at least one Buddhist temple in every city, town, and village in Japan. And to be honest with you, they're tuppence a dozen. Or, as our North American friends might say, a dime a dozen. Now, tuppence a dozen, or a dime a dozen, literally means that you can get a lot of something for very little money. And when we use that expression in everyday life, we mean that there is a lot of something that it's not particularly special. So it has a slight negative feeling about it. Now, I don't want to say that Buddhist temples are a bad thing. Quite the opposite. They are wonderful. It's just that there are so many of them in Japan. And sometimes when you're walking around some parts of the country, it feels as though there's another Buddhist temple around every single corner. But really old temples with history like this one are wonderful places to visit. And what I really like about Saidaiji is the quiet and the calm here. We're actually in one of the busier parts of the city, but you wouldn't know. I can hear birds singing, there's a lot of greenery around. There's almost no one here in one of the oldest temples in Japan. Now, the history of Saidaiji itself is actually very, very interesting, and I'll tell you about that another time. But right now, what I want to show you is an example of something else that's tuppence a dozen, or a dime a dozen here in Japan, and that's Buddhist statues. Now, often they are absolutely incredible works of art, but this one's a little bit different. This has to be the ugliest Buddhist statue I've ever seen. Now, luckily, it's up the back of the temple, so it won't disturb you too much if you do come for a visit, and you really should come to Saidaiji, but if possible, try to avoid this monstrosity.